So as promised, I will be discussing the solution for this 3D equilibrium problem. Okay, let's first create a free body diagram from this problem. So we have here a sign which has a mass of 100 kilogram with a center of mass at G. Determine the X, Y, and Z components of the reaction at the ball and socket joint. I've already discussed to you the reactions involved in the ball and socket joint, no? And the tensions in wires BC and BD. So, ginawa natin kanina, we have created this Fibra diagram for tensions TC, and then we have also here tension TD. So, kukunin muna natin yung vector form nitong ating mga tensions. Okay? So, aside from that, we also have here our weight, no? So, 100 kilograms, then multiply by 9.81 for the gravity. So, we have here 981. That's negative kasi that's opposing the direction of our z-axis. So, that is negative 981 K. Okay? So, for the tension C, we have here TC, and then we need to determine muna the unit vectors, no, from B to C. So that is along X, that is 1 meter. So that we have here positive I. Along J, that is 2 meters from B to C. So that is 2 meters. Ito yun. So that is negative, sorry. Okay. So that is negative 2. Okay, negative 2J. And then for K, we also have 2. Okay, so positive 2K. And then on our denominator, we have here negative, 1 square plus negative 2 square plus 2 square. Okay? So yung TC natin in vector form, if you will evaluate that one, we get 0.33 TC I minus 0.67 TCJ, and then positive 0.67 TCK. Okay. And then similarly for our tension D in vector form, we have here TD, and then yung unit vector niya from B to D. So ano yan? Along X, that is negative 2I, kasi opposing siya sa positive side of our X. Ito yung positive side natin. So opposing siya, no? And then we also have negative 2J, similar lang dun sa TC. And then yung K natin is 1. Okay, so kaya we have here 1K or K. Yan. So the same sa ating denominator. So we have the negative 2 square plus 2 square plus 1 square. So if you will evaluate that one, you get negative 0.7 TDI, negative 0.7 TDJ, and positive 0.33 TDK. Ayan. So ito na yung mga unit, this is our vector form for the tensions TC and TD. Okay na yan. And then, to solve for the reactions ito sa ball and socket A, so as I've said, no, we have 3 reactions for here. We have here along X, reaction along X for the ball and socket joint, along Z, sabihin natin AZ, and along Y, so sabihin natin AY. Okay, so first, solve muna natin yung value nitong TC and TD because we will be using these values to solve for for the values of AX, AZ, and AY. So to solve for the values of TC and TD, what we can do is to take the moment dito sa point A. If you take the moment at point A and equate that to 0, okay, ano ba yung mga moment involved dyan? Ano ba yung forces na may moment dyan? Etong TC and TD, they have moment. No, they have moment about point A. So as you can see, similar lang yung point of application nila. Then therefore, we can just sum up these vectors and then uh, cross product it with its position vector from A to B. So in other words, we have here position vector from A to B cross the sum of vectors TC plus TD. Okay? Then that's to be added by the moment nitong J natin. Yung J natin, yung RA to J natin, if we will be projecting the line of action nito, so ito yung parang position vector niya from A to this point right here. And that is 1 meter along Y. So we have here, sabihin na natin from A to G, then cross yung weight natin. Ito yung weight natin, class. Ayan. So let's evaluate this one. So we have 0 here, and then yung RA to B natin, as I've said, that is 2 meters along Y. So from A to B, that is 2J. Okay, 2J. Then cross. Let's sum up all the forces, all I's for our tensions TC and TD. So that is basically equivalent to what? 0.33 TC, no? Minus 0.67 TD, that is I.
Tanawa.
No? Saan sa research?
Ay,
kani?
Maanan na. Pag-unsa ka? Nag-record.
Nag-record ko kay, ano manggod?
Asing.
Okay, and then this one, let's add all the J's, no? So we have here, since common yung negative dyan, we can just factor the negative. So negative, so magiging 0.67 ito, TC. And then, since the factor natin yung negative, so that will become positive na, 7 TD, and that is J. And then, lastly, yung K natin. So we have here 0.67 TCK and then plus 0.33 TD, and that's K. Okay? And then, meron pa tayo ditong, meron pa tayo ditong yung ating RA position vector from A to G, that is J lang. Okay, J lang yan. And then, that is to be cross product with our weight, which is in K, that is negative 981 K. Okay? So, we can create a 3x3 matrix. Okay, ito siya, class. Sabihin na lang natin para mas madali, itong part na to, that is our Tx. Itong part na to, including the negative, that is our Ty. Itong part na to, that is our Tz. So dito, so di ba, unahin natin yung position vector. So walang I, walang K. So only J lang siya. So therefore, we have here 0, 2, and 0. So dito, ilagay natin yung Tx, itong part na to. Ito, Ty, and lastly, ito, Tz. Ayan. And then, that's to be added by the cross product of it. Nitong J at saka negative 981K. Diba, I've told you that if you cross product the J and K, different unit vectors will result to a different unit vector. So, if you cross product J and K, you get I. So, that means we have 1 times negative 981. So, that is obviously negative 981. And that is I. So, okay na yung part na yan. So, ito na lang. So again, 0. So if we want to determine I, we cover this up. Then we have here 2 times Tz. So 2 times Tz. Yung Tz natin is ito. So that is 0.67 Tc plus 0.33 Td. Again, that is I. Okay, so idagdag natin to diretso, negative 981 I. And then, to get J, we cover this up. So 0 times Tz is obviously 0. Minus Tx times 0, obviously 0 pa rin. So wala tayong J. So to get K unit vector, we cover this up. So we have 0 times Tx, 0. So minus this one. So minus 2 times Tx. Yung Tx natin is 0.33 Tc minus 0.67 Td. Ayan. And then, that is K. Okay. So, uh, since yung moment natin, if we sum up all the moments, no, is 0, it follows that etong mx na to, okay, sorry ito class, yan, mx yan, ito, mz, no? It follows also that yung mx natin is also 0 and yung mz natin is equal to 0 kasi yung summation ng moment at that specific point is 0. So we can just use the bi-coefficient method to equate yung lahat ng may I at lahat ng may K. So in other words, so using the bi-coefficient method, we can equate lahat ng may I. So obviously dito sa left-hand side of our equation, we have 0 there. And then ito, multiply muna natin. 2 times 0.67, we get 1.34. Okay, 1.34 TC. And then 2 times 0.33, we get 0.66 TD. And then meron tayong 981. Okay? So, transpose natin itong 981 to make it positive. So, therefore, we have 134 TC plus 0.66 TD, and that is equivalent to 981. So, this is our first equation. Now, let's equate all that have unit vector k. So, dito sa left-hand side, that is always 0 pa rin. So, we have here negative 2 times 0.33. So, let's multiply na lang this one. Or we can just, we can just put na lang this one, 0.33 TC, okay, minus 0.67 TD. Okay. Then we can just cross multiply. So itong negative 2, mamamultiply dito. So 0 divided negative 2, 0 pa rin yan. Then we have here 0.33 TC minus 0.67 TD. So itong 0, i-transfer ko lang dito. Okay? So we have our second equation. So we can use what? We have two equations and we have two unknowns. So we can use the Caltech na lang for that one. No? So carry out your calculator, you go to mode, press equation, then two unknowns to equation, napin nyo. So let's put in here all the coefficients. So for TC, that is 1.34. For TD, that is 0.66. And for our constant, 981. Then, the same thing for our second equation, 0.23, and negative 0.67, and then the constant is 0. So once you press equal, you get Tx, Tc. So x value, so that is for Tc natin. Tc is equivalent to 589.16, tama ba? And then for Td natin, and that is equivalent to 290.18. And that is in newtons lahat. So ito na yung values ng tensions natin, which are some of the unknowns, no, o yung pinapahanap. Okay? Ito na yung tensions in wires BC at saka BD. Okay? So we'll leave it here muna kasi we need to solve pa the values of AX, AZ, and AY. So we can just we can just take the summation of forces along X and equate that to 0. So ano ba yung mga forces along X? So remember the positive side, we have the positive side, itong part na to. So that is AX. So para hindi masyadong what can I do is that I can just copy this one siguro. Di makopy. So ano na lang siguro class. So AX, then i-add natin yung lahat ng may I dito sa TC and TD as well as dito sa weight. So obviously dalawa lang yan siya class, etong part na to. Kanina lang itong i-copy siguro. Wait, hold on. Ano ma-fill siya? Okay, ano na lang siguro, no? So let's add all the i's, no? So we have here AX, yung pinapahanap natin. And then, i-add natin yung lahat ng may I, no? So for TC, we have positive 0.33 TCI. Ayan ito. And then, minus 0.67 TD. Ayan, no? So So itong part na to class, in-add lang natin yung may I. 0.67, negative, then 0.33. Sa weight, wala siyang I kasi K yan siya. So, okay na yan. And then, equate to 0. So, meron naman tayong value ng TC and TD. So, transpose natin to class, magiging negative 0.33. And then, yung TC natin, again, 589.16. Ito, magiging positive na yan, 0.67. And then TD, we have 290.18. Equate that one. So, we have here negative 0. Para mas madali class, lagay natin muna yung values ng natin. 589.16. Okay? Shift store natin yan dito sa A. And then 290.18. Shift store natin yan dito sa B. Okay? So we have here alpha A, alpha B. So negative 0.33 alpha A plus 0.67 alpha B. So press equal, you get ano to class? That is actually what? Sorry. That is actually approximate to 0. So, ang sagot pala dito, yung AX natin is 0 pala. Yan na yung AX natin. Okay. Pwede naman yun, class, no? So, summation of forces along Y equate to 0. So, meron tayong AY. I-add natin yung lahat ng my J. So, ito, negative 67. Ito, negative 67. So, we have here negative 0.67 TC, negative 0.67 TD. Wala na, equate to 0. So, therefore, AY, transpose natin ito sa kabila, magiging positive. Then, we have again 589.16. Then, ito magiging positive pa rin. Then, we have here 290.18. Okay? So, suwa tayo ng calculator. So, we have here 0.67 alpha A plus 0.67 alpha B. So, press equal, you get 589. 589 point, sorry, 589.16 pa rin. Okay? So, 16. So, yung AY pala natin is 589.16 newtons. So, yan yung sagot natin for AY. And lastly, for Z. Okay? Equate to 0. So, ano yung mga Z natin dito? Ito, 67 TC, 33 TD. So, we have here. And also, yung negative 981 natin. Sorry. So, we have AZ, yung pinapahanap, plus 0.67 TC plus 0.33 TD and minus 981 K equal to 0. So, AZ, gawin natin tong negative 0.7. Transpose natin sa lahat dito. No? 7 TC, 589.16. Minus na yan din, 0.23. Then that is 290.18. Then from negative, magiging positive, 981. Okay, AZ is equivalent to ng value niyan, class. So, negative 0.7 alpha A minus 0.33 alpha B plus 981. And that is equivalent to 490.5 Newton. Ayan. So, nakuha na natin yung lahat ng unknowns. So, we have AZ, AY, and AX as well as the TC at saka TD. So, I hope nakuha nyo yung, I hope nakuha nyo yung process. So, that's it for this video. Thank you again for listening.